James Howlett functions as an active biological battlefield. His tissues are locked in a continuous cycle of trauma, a high-stakes refusal to stay broken. Within the Lexicon lab, we track a body in a permanent state of war. Every second, Logan's biological systems work around the clock just to maintain a baseline of survival. To find the exact limit of this endurance, we designed a specific biological stress test. We call it a mitotic exhaustion event. The parameter for this test is narrow. We are measuring the biological consequences of a subject whose healing factor slows down by a mere 5%. In our simulation, this 5% drop represents a critical failure point. It is the moment when the body can no longer suppress 2 centuries of accumulated damage. This failure begins at the skeletal level. In human biology, bones serve as the primary factory for producing new red blood cells. Coating this bone in an indestructible metal creates a chemical liability. The adamantium leaches toxic, highly reactive ions directly into his marrow. This causes chronic heavy metal poisoning. 90% of his healing factor is solely occupied neutralizing these toxins and repairing vascular erosion. The indestructible skeleton is a constant source of toxicity. Logan lives as the sole survivor of a perpetual internal heavy metal spill. Moving deeper than the bone, we find the damage extends down to the microscopic, genetic level. Normal human cells divide 50 times before dying. Logan cells have undergone trillions of divisions over 2 centuries, a state of exhaustion we call hypermitosis. Every time these cells are forced to replicate to heal a wound, the new tissue physicalizes the trauma. It encodes a metabolic shadow of the injury directly into his DNA sequence. While his skin closes up without a mark, his genome has become a permanent, unreadable map of every bullet and burn he has ever endured. This cellular exhaustion is most visible within the highly specialized neural pathways of the brain. Healing a brain injury creates a memory paradox. When new tissue grows to replace what was destroyed, the memories stored in the old synaptic connections do not automatically transfer. His biology utilizes a lossy compression system to reprint data into the new tissue. This creates fragmented timelines and ghost memories, leaving dark, disconnected patches in his psyche. This continuous rewiring is the biological driver of his chronic rage. It is hyper-regenerative PTSD, the result of a brain constantly taping itself back together in the wrong order. With the baseline established, we execute the simulation. We force the subject's healing factor to drop below that critical 5% safety threshold. The results are immediate. 2 centuries of suppressed adamantium toxicity hit the bloodstream like a freight train, overwhelming the kidneys and liver in seconds. We see a chain reaction of rapid onset necrosis. The vascular system collapses, and the organs fail in sequence as they are saturated by 200 years of metallic ions. The Lexicon's verdict is clear. The indestructible metal protecting his frame is the same substance that triggers his biological end once the regeneration flags. Pulling back from the simulation, we see the reality of Logan's daily existence. True immortality is a clinical myth. We are observing a man holding back an inevitable biological tidal wave with a handful of sand. He lives as a reminder that closing a wound is not the same thing as erasing the history of the pain. If you were forced to carry the chemical weight of every battle in your own DNA, is that a superpower, or is it just an inability to die?